Hey sister friends, it's Terry from Sisterhood of the Traveling Brush. Today we're going to make our own holiday throw pillow cover. I got this at Hobby Lobby, used my coupon. It probably cost me $1. I have aluminum foil stuffed in it just to make sure that it doesn't bleed through, and I'm going to get right to it. Going to sketch out the idea that I have in mind. Something simple, no sense in it being complicated. I wanted kind of a brown color, but I guess I'll use this dark ochre. And we're just going to do something like a branch coming across. And I'm just going to sketch it on here real quick. Oh, there's my dinner going off. The only, and this is kind of where it's dangling, and we're going to put a couple of Christmas balls on here. We'll put one right there, and we'll put maybe 3. I like to do things in 3s. We'll put one right here, and one down here. And the only thing I want to say right now, because I'm just going to continue on in this fashion, is your branches always start out thicker closest to the stem or closest to the branch, and then get thinner toward the end, and they always come out to a sort of a Y. That was probably too straight, but that's okay. So you can Y off as many times as you want to with these, and yours is not going to be exactly like mine, and mine's not going to be exactly like somebody else's. So that's the process. So just keep on keeping on in that fashion. We're just going to put a few of these off here. They can split off in each direction. I mean, we're not trying to be totally realistic or anything like that. But we definitely want to come out past our Christmas ball. This probably wasn't a very good look for this one. See how they just kind of Y off? You can put as many or as few as you want, and we can put more or less later when we are using our actual paint. And they can come off of the inside or the outside. Absolutely doesn't matter. We don't want it to get too busy. You can save space up here if you want to write a word like peace or love or joy, or you can just put the balls on there. And where did I just put that? Now we're just painting it in. These are oil pastels. This is the brand that I use, and I think I have them in on my website. But let's see. Done a lot of painting in here today. We've got some Van Dyke brown from Golden, and it's kind of watered down a little bit, because I was trying to use it for maybe some lettering or something earlier. Something I needed it thin for. Gonna mist this just a little bit. I don't want to get it so wet that it smudges every bit of what I just put on there, because this does work like watercolor almost whenever you get it wet from the oil pastels. And I'm just going to come through the same exact places that I've been already with the oil pastel. I'm now going to come through with the paint, and I'm not trying to stay straight at all. Trying not to stay straight. Just put a little more water on there. Thin it out. When you're doing thin lines, it really helps for your paint to be a little thinner, but I still want it to be highly pigmented. That's why I use good paints like Blick Acrylics or Golden or Liquitex instead of craft paints, because I'm not wanting to put a bunch of coats on here. Ain't nobody got time for that. So where it's okay, you want it to actually have some of the other colors showing through. Okay, so this is our main stem. We want it the fattest, so I'm going to come back through and make it fatter. This is where the main stem shoots off to another one, so it's going to be a little heavier right here and then get thinner as it goes down. We can heat seal this in the dryer afterward, or you can iron it to make the paint stay. But after it, a good curing time, 30 days or something like that, it's gonna stay on here. It's not gonna rub off or wash off or anything. You can do this with 2 or 3 different colors of brown, would be fantastic. I only have one down here with me, so it's the one I'm going to use. So again, we're thicker on our main stem and where it transitions, and then get thinner from there. We're going to have some like little pine sprigs and things like that on most of these tips later. So thicker, put it down, and then don't lay it down quite as heavy when you go through. These are the Deco fine detail brushes. Absolutely love them. I think they're in my Amazon store. I'll try to remember to put a link on there for that, because these are fantabulous. My mother used to love to watch Christopher Lowell. I think he was the first that I knew of anyway, of like the HGTV type decorating shows and things like that. I don't know what happened to him, but he was a cute little fella with a good decorating style. And I don't even think they had like all those cable channels, HGTV and all that back then. So he must have been on like one of the main networks. Man, she loved Christopher Lowell, and he was always saying things were fantabulous. If you remember Christopher Lowell, tell me so down below. If you know what happened to him, tell me. So I do wonder about the little fella. He was the first one that put the word finials into the mainstream, I think. It's bleeding out onto here a little bit, and I absolutely love that. That's because of the water that we sprayed down there earlier. Makes it look very natural. If we were wanting it to be perfect, we would have used a photograph, right? Or bought a print that some machine did. You want your handmade items to look and feel like handmade items. Laying it all the way down and pressing here where it's supposed to be thicker, and then just lightly starting it and pulling it from the areas that are thinner. My first plan was to do all 3 balls red, but now I changed my mind. Wet my brush a little bit and finish out this red one. And this is just a El Cheapo little, I don't even know if it's a 1/2 inch, but just a little flat brush. Perfectly round would probably be ideal. I'm going to try to grab a little bit of this brown now. The Van Dyke brown, to just darken the right hand side just a tad, and then I'm going to dab it in the white, the titanium white. Try to lighten up this side, then I'm going to try to get one more little bit of white. Let's see if I can get it real good. To give it that circular look. Then I think I'm gonna do one in teal because it's my fave. It doesn't take much. This is golden and teal, just says teal. Grab some teal. We'll put it here. Do the same thing. Fill her in. I'm going to do the same thing here and grab a little white while it's still wet. Lighten up this side. Add a good little highlight area. And then grab a little bit of the Van Dyke brown. And I think I want to do this one in purple, and I don't have any purple out. Let me grab some, see what I got. This is Blick Dioxazine Purple. I said. A little goes a long ways. I like it. Okay, we've got not a whole lot, but a tad of green left on here, so we're gonna use it up first. Definitely not trying to make this anything perfect. We're trying to give the idea of little branches coming off, or little pine straws coming off of it. All of them won't have it. Some will have more than others. And that's just up to you. Definitely gonna need more green. This is the chromium oxide green. Use any color green that you have. We'll probably mix this with a little white later to get a lighter shade. This is a little thick. I would rather be using one of my line. Here's one. Let's see. There we go. It's like these are little buds on here. They're just starting to open up their greenness. The actual bare branches are the star of the show up until you see the Christmas ornaments. anything that you think is ugly, just put more branches, put more leaves over it. That'll hide it. All your little leaves don't have to go the same direction. They can just sprout out like little crazies. Go toward each other, away from each other. Anything you like. The more random it is, the more better it'll look. The more natural it'll look. We have, where I live here in Louisiana, lots and lots of pine trees, and the little baby sproutlings that sprout up everywhere always have these tiny little crazy little leaves starting to come out of them, or whatever you call them, little pine thingies. If you know what they're called, let me know down in the comments. Pine straw by the time it hits the ground, and it's brown here, but I'm sure there's a better word for it. Okay, I don't think I missed any. Not really. This kind of ugly. Let's put a little. They can grow on the whole stem if they want. They can do anything they want. We could have a little sprout of them right here above. Make it look like a little tomatoes, doesn't it? But we could have a little sprouts there. I like it. Okay, now this is cute just like it is. We can come back and put a little bit of snow. Let's see if we can thin out our white at all there without it getting cray. Here's this one. This one has like a little bit of an, I can't tell if it's an angle or if it's a straight because it's dried. Probably sitting in something like that. I try not to abuse my brushes, but nobody's perfect, right? A little on top of our bulbs there. I think I'm going to sort of stipple and speckle it instead of where it won't have straight lines. Okay, let's think, where else would snow be? It would be on top of our branch there. Would be in our little crevice here. Would be in this little curve there. Maybe a little along there. Would have piled in here and been along there a little. Anywhere where there's like a flat surface or an indentation that it can get to, a little bit would land there. Gotta be careful because my green's still wet. leave the snow off. If it's not very likely we get snow very often here in Louisiana. If you were in Florida doing this, you could definitely leave your snow off if you wanted. The green's still pretty wet, so I gotta be careful with that. You can let that dry, or you can just live with it. So just like anything else, I'm going to sign it. So we'll use red. Get a little water on there. I like it. Okay, so there you go. There's your holiday pillow cover, and you just stuff a pillow that you already have in here, a throw pillow that you already have in here, and then when the season's over, you take this out, fold it up, put it up with your Christmas stuff or your winter stuff, and go back to what color you had already. You could add lights on here if you wanted. There's a million things you can do to make it your own, but I appreciate you being here with me today. Thanks. Bye.